Hello and welcome. My name's Jace and this is my first video on TarotTube. I just got a deck in today that I really wanted to share with you guys. It's adorable. It's Teddy Tarot and it is by Dextiny. I haven't seen anybody talking about this one, so if you have, please send me a link. I'd love to see what they have to say about it. It is a deck of 79 cards. Obviously, they're all teddy bear themed, and I'm really excited about it because they are adorable. So let's go ahead and dive in. Like any tuck box, it's kind of a pain in the butt to get open and get all the cards out. But here we go. I managed to get them out of order at some point. So let me fix that. It comes with a little white book, which is in the middle. For some reason, it's really hard to slide it in and out, so it goes in between the cards. There is a pretty obvious place that it splits when you go to put the cards in and when you pull the cards out. I'm hoping once you shuffle it, that won't really matter. And it won't be as obvious, but I can't not split it there. So that's kind of interesting. So for the little white book, it gives you a little bit of information about tarot, and then it's kind of just, your basic little white book. It talks a little bit about what is in the picture, the divinatory meaning, and a little bit about it reversed. So nothing too exciting here. I haven't read through it yet. This is kind of my unboxing and first impressions. So I'll be, taking a deeper look into that in a little bit. So here are our card backs. They're completely adorable. You can see he's holding these two wands. He's got this nice little flowy thing, just kind of covering his little bits that, he doesn't have because he's a teddy bear. But it is, as you can see, reversible. So if you read reversals, which I don't, that option's there. So let's go ahead and kind of go through and flip through it and see what we see. First of all, we have our Fool card. Let me get those kind of centered for you. All right, yeah, so first off, we have our Fool card. He's really cute. He's got this little jester hat, and I can't really tell if this is a dog or a cat, but I love his little companion. His companion is just as adorable as he is. Next up, we have our Magician. And you can see all of the elements here. You can kind of see and I can never say this right, so I'm just going to say the infinity symbol. We all know that's not what it's called, but it's the same thing. I also love in the foreground the lily and the roses, so I think, that's great representation of that. We have our High Priestess. Her little scroll says honey, which is completely adorable. We have our Empress, who isn't pregnant, which is great. I'm one of the people who doesn't love a pregnant Empress. I think there's absolute ways that can be done well, but for me, it just doesn't ring true for me. We have our little Emperor, our Hierophant, our lovers. Look at them, how cute they are in their little swing. So adorable. Our Chariots, our Strength card. I love how they're just napping together. Our Hermit. This is probably one of my favorite cards so far. I just think he's adorable. He's got his little candle, and he's doing everything he can to keep it from going out. We have our Wheel of Fortune, our Justice card, the Hanged Teddy. Look at that. It's the Hanged Teddy. It's so cute. I also really love this Death card. It's adorable. I love how, he's got this like evil grin, and he's got these bright red eyes, but the teddy is still so cute, even though, you know, he looks like a skeleton, like ish death figure. We have our Temperance, the Devil, and again, this is one of those, it's got some little changes to it, and I just kind of love how he's holding on to the little teddies. It almost looks like the little devil's trying to keep them safe a little bit, which I think is kind of interesting little take on it. We have our tower, and I think it's really interesting. You know, the tower is built on the edge, and there's both like the seas and the little boat and the lightning, and just kind of, I think, some interesting little tidbits in there. We have our star, the moon, and I love how he's turning into a bear wolf, a werebear maybe. I like bear wolf better. The sun, judgment, the world. All right, getting into the minor arcana, we have our wands first up. I think this is adorable with this little congrats banner. And this little 5 of wands, I love how they're all just trying to hit this watermelon and kind of failing with their little blindfolds on. And I just think it's a nice little interpretation. Instead of them all just like whacking at each other, they're trying to hit this watermelon. Oops, getting a little crazy over here. And I have, oh no. Oh well, I'll fix that later. The 6, the 7. I also really like this 8 of wands. I usually am not a huge fan of 8 of wands that are just like 8 wands flying through the air. I think it's a little bit of a cop-out. But I really appreciate we've got this little bear, and he's sweating, and he's just really running. He's got to get that message out. I think that's great that they added that little bit to it. And this 9 of wands I think is also kind of unique. He's behind a fence, but he's blindfolded, and he's got this stick, and he's scared of this tiger. And I think the really important thing here is kind of, you know, he's behind this fence. He's really safe, but he can't tell because he's blindfolded himself. We've got our 10. I also really like getting into our Ace of Cups, our cup suit. How like you have honey just kind of spewing out. This is like a river of honey. And just that, you know, honey symbolism that kind of keeps popping up in there. I think this is also really cute. How, you know, there's a friend behind the tree just like, hey, I have a cup for you. It's almost like he's, you know, like, you know, wants to help his buddy out and give him another option. Like, hey, I can help you. And I feel so bad for this guy with his little tears in his eyes, and just looking at his spilled and broken cups. And I just really wish he would turn around. And again, here's our honey, just kind of, you know, handing that honey to this little one. Oh. Oops. Let me straighten this out a little bit. There we go. All right, so we got our 10. All right, now we're getting into the swords. I will say that in some of the cards, it is a little hard to read the wording, but I do really like the way that the words are set up, and even this little border. I really like cards that have the full. Now that I'm trying to say it, I can't think of what it's called. But when the photo fills the card instead of having borders around it. But I think this is a really good way for them to have done borders. I also like, I mean, it's the same idea, but I really like that they didn't just kind of go with the usual heart being stabbed. You've got this like little bear and he's crying, but he's making a little heart with his hands. I think that's much better than in your normal kind of a cop out of a stabbed heart. I love how like he's just like he looks peaceful. He's got his little star. Like he like knows that he's moving on to something better, and he's just kind of protecting his star. I think a little bit like you protect your heart a lot of times when you move on to something new. And we got a little oopsie over here. Straighten that up a little bit. And now we're into our Ace of Pentacles, and you can kind of see another example here of how the wording kind of blends in a little bit with its background. But I think that's okay. I mean, I can tell what it means. And I mean, it's the imagery is really obvious what it is too. So I don't think it's a problem. And our little jester's back. He looks different, but I think this is an adorable representation of the Two of Pentacles with his little jester hat. I don't know why, but I'm really feeling the jester vibes in the Fool and in the Two of Pentacles. And then here we've got everybody. They're kind of bringing something to the table. They've got the pentacles for completion up here. He brought maybe the blueprints. I thought it was a little piece of fabric, but now that I think about it, I think it's the blueprints. So everybody is bringing a little something to the table here. Oh, I kind of missed this when I did my original flip through. I know I said this was an unboxing, but I did a quick flip through. So, little honesty there, I guess. But yeah, I really like how he's just like holding on to his belongings, even though there's so much going on around him. And he's just closing his eyes tight against all the bad stuff. And I mean, even it looks like there's even been some bad stuff before. There's cracks in the walls, there's spider webs. He's just really holding on in spite of everything bad. So I kind of think that can represent both sides of this really well. We got our poor lonely Teddy who just needs some repairs. Someone threw him away instead of stitching him up again. And I think the star of this card is really this dog down here. He just looks so happy and content. He's adorable. This is one of my favorite parts of the deck so far. And since we're close to the end, I think it's probably my favorite piece of the deck. Oh, there we go. And this is the little extra card. It's the Polar Lisa. Yeah, I'm not really sure What I think about this yet, I think it's really cute. I may take it out of the card and just use it as like a little art piece somewhere. I have a bunch of little extra cards and stuff, so I also might consider, you know, seeing how it fits in my Aliments Tarot, and it might be another card for that. So yeah, this is a really cute little deck. Let me kind of get this straightened out. I can't find a whole lot of information about it, but I just thought it was really adorable. I think it's bought from a manufacturer and sold that way rather than like the actual seller. Well, it does a really good, I can't think of words. Words are really hard, but it spreads out really nicely. I don't think it's like the greatest cardstock, but I do really appreciate the size. I have really small hands, so the size is just perfect for me to be able to wrap my hands around it, and I think I'll be able to get a pretty good shuffle on it. I've never shuffled on camera, so let's see how that works. Okay, my bridge wasn't great, but let's see. A little better. So I think for people who are probably better at shuffling, they'll have a little bit of an easier time. But, you know, I'm not great at it. I usually do the riffle shuffle. Or not the riffle shuffle, the hand over hand shuffle. I only use the riffle shuffle to like clean out energies and things like that. Oh, looks like the 9 of Wands is popping up for us. So, you know, maybe there's something that, you know, we're kind of, you know, keeping ourselves from seeing, and we're kind of a little bit, feel like we have some kind of negative energy coming towards us, and we just need to open our eyes and figure out how to approach that. It's kind of my little bit of a thought there for this. So yeah, this was the adorable Teddy Tarot. The author is, of course, I decided to try to pronounce this without reading it before. So we're just not going to do that. I'm just going to show that on the screen. Yeah, the Teddy Tarot. It's adorable. And I kind of look forward to working with it because I think it's got that great symbolism. It's a great Rider-Waite-Smith basis deck, but it's got some interesting interpretations on some of the cards. And I think it's just going to be a lot of fun. Like, it's just adorable. So thank you for watching this quick walkthrough / unboxing, kind of. Yeah, I'm hoping to make more videos like this in the future, and I hope you'll be back to see it. Bye!